I'm Belinda Yen-Lieberman. I'm from Cleveland Clinic. I have been frustrated with availability of tests for the laboratory since the syndromic tests are wrong. So I want to share with you a little bit of our experience. What do we do when we need a 12 organism from a patient? And then what made me want to do evaluation. I think I've been talking to the company, giving them advice, but I'm so glad finally I get to share with you. We test drive this test quickly, and then it's exactly what we wanted. So I'm from Cleveland Clinic, so you see beautiful lake on the north, and we have a big conglomerate of 19 hospital outpatient outside the Cleveland Clinic. So as a result, when we do respiratory panel or GI, we don't do the respiratory viruses or bacteria. They collect a sample in all around up to 65 miles. They all drop in the microbiology lab. So for the last many years, we're very frustrated about variety sample, all of them collect different time, and then we need something multiplex. But we, for example, today if I get 132 sample, I cannot use BioFire, right? I can't use Cepheid. I wanted something that can do more. So we've been just rub our fingers trying to figure out when we're going to do this so I can share with you what we have. So this is the front of the Cleveland Clinic. It's a heart center. So quickly, just everybody here knows, heard a lot about syndromic tests, and it's highly multiplex. It has all the way up now 30 organisms for one sample, and then it's in BioFire, so we get a lot of samples. So big lab cannot afford. I can't buy 30 BioFire machine do the test. So as a result, we were forbidden to use this test. And so when I started 2006, it was FluA, FluB RSV. I was happy as a lark. One swab, I get any one of the three. The doctors do not have to order when something's negative. Patients still have fever. So we were happy. But now, then that's like 7, 8 years ago. Now we have a syndromic test up to 30 organisms in a new pneumonia panel. It's just overwhelming for people like myself. I'm sure a lot of laboratory people. So BioFire, Cepheid, Luminex, Panther, Gimrat, the list to go on. So at the Cleveland Clinic, so I remember 4 or 5 years ago, they said, well, you're not allowed to order this. Why? Well, I don't want the company to decide what I order. I'm seeing the patient. Therefore, this is not allowed. So at the Cleveland Clinic, for the last many years, we have BioFire machine. We were not allowed to order. Now, if you're outside clinician, you're allowed to order because then we can bill them, right? If we're inside, then we will lose money. So we form, it's actually a laboratory stewardship, or we call test utilization team, and spearhead by Gary Proko, my colleague, and several nurses, IT people, laboratory people, clinicians. Together, they met monthly for the last, since 2011. So give you example, if the multiplex respiratory panel only hospitalize the patient, doctors, if a patient, the doctor can order. But you and I know when you're hospitalized, it's under DRG. So whatever they order, you're losing money, but it's important, patient care is important. So they had a big meeting. Even though we're losing money, you get about $49 to $50 per test for hospitalized patients like bone marrow transplant, post, and kidney. And we were told to go ahead and do it. So sometimes you need to lose money, improve patient care. So we were doing respiratory panel since 2013. So it's about 6,000 a year, and then everything's fine. So, but then they also want the full, in other words, they don't want the full panel, but now we have GI panel with all that. So the clinicians start getting really antsy, want to do that. And we also notice less experienced clinicians tend to order the whole thing. So in case something happened, they not get sued type of thing, I heard. And also, so there's a lot of politics, or so the hospital administrator, lab people, clinician had a lot of meeting, dissolved, resolved whatever it is. So in general, all the tests ordered is under electronic medical record. The best example is they have something called hard stop. So if someone, every clinician, when they order the test, there's a doctor's ID. You will equivalent to they are outpatient, ED doc, something. So we have a lot of people checking on what you order. So if you order test which is not acceptable, the hard stop will just automatically cancel your test. And so we now have 10 this kind of hard stop, soft stop, everything to keep the test volume down, because the laboratory has been known to be the cost-losing department. So we are fighting hard. So the molecular micro, we actually not allowed to offer a lot of tests, even though we could, and then except the respiratory panel, that the big meeting, so we offer since 2013. Then come to 2019. So the bone marrow, the patient from the bone marrow post bone marrow, and met with Gary Procol, the big group, they said really needed, and then because we needed those big panels, so they let we have the one, the BioFire unit, they do GI. Each one they want to order the BioFire, it has to be approved by the infectious disease physicians. So since 2019, there are less than 10 ordered, which so they keep track on. But the reason is sometimes they can stop antibiotics. So they have a fever and bacteria is negative, but patients still have fever. If you don't do virology, so a lot of people misuse some of the medication. So by having that, it was pretty good, but we only had 10 so far. So I want to give you an example. So what do we do, after complaining about the big panel? So you can see on the screen, so we use LIA. LIA is lab in the tube, it's FluA, FluB RSV, it get a result in 20. So what we do, we don't do it in the main hospital. We decentralize to 19 outpatient, and also we call them regional hospital, small hospital. And after 3 years, they love it. So now suddenly, my lab, we used to do 18,000 respiratory orders. Now it's going down to 8,000 to 9,000. So it's so lessen the core lab, and they can, so we are really pitching patient-centered tests. You need to do this kind of test near the patient. So Leah's there now. I think the group E strap for pregnant women. Okay, they need to go where the hospital deliver a baby, but Cleveland Clinic downtown we don't. So now we had the chance to take a deep breath and see what we can do in the main lab and on the multiplex test. So I already we do so one thing, the hospitalized the patient. No, the outpatient and hospitalized, but in the main campus, the doctor said, I want the result in 1 hour. I said, well, nobody gets a result in 1 hour in Cleveland Clinic because it takes 3 hours for me to get your sample. So they changed the rule on the computers. 1 hour after you receive the sample, they stamp everything, then you do the test. So we have Infinity that's downstairs for the bacteriology, because anybody can load the sample and put it in this, look like a choo-choo train, the sample disappear in the machine, the results goes out. So that helped us relieve a lot of pressure. So because we're not allowed to hire more people, but they want us to do more with less. So we were doing that. And with the BD Max, has 4 organisms. I can show you some of the results. We have a Panther, it's great, CTGC, but that's it. So anything, Trichomonas used to be on BD Affirm, but now I think Trick is on the Panther. So we sort of like, you go into the grocery store, you buy 3 of this, so we can make our ends meet and satisfy the clinician. So we sit down, I want the people, what do we need? I want something flexible. The clinician said, I don't want the panel, I just want the 3. And then, so we also want the flexible result. I don't want the 22 of anything because I don't know how to treat them and just waste. So I wanted order 3 and have 3 results. So we had a big meeting, and then I want the equipment not that big, maybe a little bit compact because everyone is running out of space. And then also flexible test runs. So I always joke, people always make fun. I said, I want you to test this like a cafeteria. I want 3 oranges and 2 of this, 7 this on the same tray. So I want something I can do, a little bit save time. And so I always joke, I want the cafeteria style, extraction or detection. So now I want to show you a little bit of what we did. So we evaluate a new flexible multiplex test for our busy lab. I appreciate BioCode had a lot of patience because the last 5 years, every time I saw BioCode, I just went and just Michael Hall tell him that you can't develop things just like this. He said, yeah, but we can do 96 multiplex. I said, we never have that many one day, so I need them flexible. So here's the key feature of the BioCode, and Dr. Michael A. already explained to you. So now I already tell you, you can see the screen. I already explained to you. So it's flexible. You can do one panel and do another panel same time. The software was this part like the user-friendly. So there's a software guide you. So when you load, if you forget to click on one step, they won't let you go. So then you say, what, did I forget something? And then so that the computer actually tell you go or stop, figure out what's wrong with it. So Deb Cohn at home showed me, she said, they won't let me. I do this, let me go. So I like that because many times you're really busy. Did I add it? Did I not? Things like that. So this is a really, really good program that, and customized reporting. I already mentioned you only get a result what you want. And the one good thing is they'll store the original result. That is, when the sample comes, they'll do all the 20 organisms, but the doctor only on the 4, they will release 4. However, after 2 days, Dr. Gordon said, Belinda, I ordered that they're all negative. And then they were allowed to click on the screen and see the rest 16 results. And I said, well, you missed the adeno, you missed the blah, blah, blah. He said, well, the only time I'm going to release the result is you can order this. So they will order, and then computer will release. This is good. Clinicians happy, lab is happy, and then so we did a few of those. So the unique feature of the BioCode test, the barcode magnet B, I don't have to repeat it, and then multiple target GI respiratory panel can be run together. The best part is no cross-contamination because they barcode the B, and so after this, centrifuge washing, all that, when you test, there's absolutely no cross-contamination from real high readout to the negative sample. So we evaluate quickly what we did a real quick evaluation, did the 6 rounds, and then 100 contrived clinical stool sample in carrier blur median, and the 48 nasal swab, and then the sample extracted on the EasyMac. So what did we do? We did the 6 rounds, I think. So you can see the GI panels run 24 by single K8, 48, 96, good. And the respiratory panel run by itself, 72. They have a combo rounds. They'll do 24 GI, 32 respiratory sample side by side at the same time. So they did a 24 GI, 32, and then also 36 GI, just repeated 48. And it was really good. So let me show you some of the results. Michael already showed you the flow. And so overall, it's probably take from beginning to end, you have a 24, probably about 5 hours beginning, you extract the sample to result. And then hands-on time is roughly hour or less. And when you do, GI, you have to treat those stool sample. As a result, you add up, 30 some more minutes. So it's the flow is easy, and everyone here probably knows what's EasyMac and the microtiter play. So it's really good. I want to show you this not because I want to make you crazy, just to show you on the right side on my slide look yellow. That's what Cleveland Clinic is doing for all the multiplex panel. And you can see it, 52 minutes and for 24 samples, things like that. On the left side is the BioCode. You just do one sample multiplex and the result. So hands-on time is very little comparison. And my goal to show you this is what we're doing now, what we can do if we use a BioCode. And the next one is, doesn't show the different color code. For the GI panel, it's a lot more involved. And then some of them were done in bacteriology, some of them were done in molecular micro, and then some of them done in parasitology. And because we have the culture confirm some of the things. So you see what the column on the left side looks like either green and blue. That is what if you use BioCode. But if on the right side, it's what our lab's doing. So that involves 3 to 4 individuals just to do the entire panel versus just one sample, push a button. So that slide, I really like it. Apologize, that's sort of vague when you say in the behind. I'd be happy to send you this slide, yeah. So here, so I already mentioned this already, 24 run, and then I don't want to repeat this. So evaluate, the 6th run of the contrived sample, and then 2 of the 6th run, and both the lower 2 columns is showed you can do combination run at the same time, which is unheard of. So now here's some result. Look in the BioCode GI evaluation result, and whether contrived and also archived. You can see with all this, I don't want to read all the rotavirus, norovirus, but overall the positive agreement is 99.4. So 178 sample detected correctly out of 179, so it's really, really good. And then also you can see the positive agreement is 100%, so it's superb. And then now to evaluate the negative, the negative agreement is 99.8, it's 100%. So it's very good. And then when we go to the respiratory panel, it's totally 117 out of 170 totally agree. So it's 100% agreement, and the individual positive agreement is for each target is 100%. Now let's see the negative agreement is 99%. Individual negative agreement is 100. So they evaluate the controls. And when we did the test, we did not know the samples had the internal control included, but we were pleasantly surprised to see the 4 pools of 3 to 5 organisms tested for each GI panel, and then all were detected 5 out of 5, and there's 1 false positive in the CAMPI. Second one here is control on the respiratory is 4 out of 4, all the different viruses or bacteria, they were corrected, detected across the board. So no false positive at all. So this is written from my technician, Deb Cohn. She said, I have a conclusion, and this is exactly her words, flexible. She can run up to 3 different panels with different sample types and 1 plate. Physician can choose which test to order, and customer report, you only get the result what you ordered, and it's highly easy to use, highly reproducible, very low invalid rate, the internal control inhibition, and the minimum training and the intuitive, the DAC PCR setup. So in conclusion, so we have what we were looking for our lab, what we need. It's more flexible ordering result, compact and flexible test run, and then we are happy lab and satisfied clinicians.